Stages of Group Counseling Development by Lori Welch. The group size and attendees is a total of 6 women and men who have lost parents and have struggled with substance use since their passing as a coping mechanism. The group attendees are 3 men and 3 women ranging in age from 35 to 52. They are in the stages of change. The stages of change are the pre-contemplation stage, which is not interested in change, the contemplation change, which is they're thinking about change, the preparation change, which they are preparing for change, the action stage is the initial change, and the maintenance stage is long-term stage. Every group member listed has their ages, how long ago their loss was, and the stage of change that they are in. The group focus will be cognitive behavioral to learn coping skills for substance use and grief. The group will meet every Friday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. The group is voluntary. It's for 6 weeks' time, and each attendee filled out a pre-screening questionnaire to determine eligibility for the group. The screening questions range from why do you want to be in this group, what are your expectations of the group, what concerns do you want help with, how do you think you can contribute to the group, do you have questions about the group or the group leader. The initial stage for the counselor and the clients, the first skill is attending and listening. The counselor will conduct introductions and getting to know their clients. The first intervention is the counselor will discuss issues such as acceptance, identity, power, and intimacy within the group and make an understanding of the importance of confidentiality, respecting others, and understanding group concepts. The second skill the counselor will use is self-disclosure and feedback, which will be helping others feel a sense of togetherness and not feeling so isolated in their feelings. The second intervention for the counselor with the group will be for the counselor to read aloud the questions and answers from the client's screening anonymously, as to not pinpoint any particular person, but to let the other clients know in the group that they feel a sense of belonging and knowing that they have the same worries and goals. While doing so, the counselor will display a sense of caring, genuineness, openness, acceptance, respect, and instilling of hope to the group. Counselor will also self-disclose if she has his or her own personal grief journey and substance use history. In the initial stages, the counselor will have members discuss their loss, their drug of choice, and the last time they used. A good icebreaker for the group would be sentence completion, such as, in a group, I feel most comfortable when, and they would fill in the blank and share. The thing I am scared of the most is, they would fill in that blank and share within the group. 2 interventions of cognitive behavioral therapy would be thought records. Thought records help clients identify and challenge negative thought patterns. And each client will receive a worksheet to document specific thoughts, the emotions linked to those thoughts, and evidence supporting and against the thought. The counselor will encourage group members to share their thought record and discuss common patterns and alternative perspectives. They will also discuss the stages of grief, which the 5 most commonly discussed stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. The counselor will discuss the stages of grief and explain how they do not always occur in a linear or expected order. The counselor will allow the group to share their experiences with the different stages and identify where they are at that moment. Each member can discuss how they are coping at their particular stage. The next stage is the transition stage. The first deal for the counselor is reflection of feeling and feedback. The counselor will use feeling words to encourage a sense of group unity and understanding. The first intervention, the counselor will discuss feelings of dominance, power, and control, and discourage those members who feel the need to take over the group, or those who feel a need to control or maintain group unity and individuality. The second skill of the transition stage is confrontation and feedback. This gives the counselor time to address any current issues to ensure conformity with group members. The second intervention for the counselor will be to discuss issues such as acceptance of others, respect, helpful versus non-helpful feedback, healthy disagreements, self-disclosure, and self-exploration within the group. 4 different interventions and activities can happen during this stage to help the counselor and the group. The first one is problem-solving skills. The problem-solving skills will help individuals address the specific issues that contribute to their anxiety. This structured approach involves identifying problems, generating solutions, and evaluating their effectiveness. The counselor will guide the group through the problem-solving process, such as define the problem, brainstorm possible solutions, evaluate and choose the best solution, and develop an action plan. The counselor will use real-life examples from group members to practice the skill, then discuss the outcomes and refine the approach as needed. It's also social support during the grieving process. Social support during the grieving process can help decrease the length of intense grief, promote healthy coping, and prevent adverse health outcomes associated with intense grief. The counselor will spend time exploring the importance of social support during their grieving process. Have group members to share their experiences with isolation or withdrawing from their regular activities while grieving. They can discuss ways as a group they can explore to incorporate social support in their routine daily. The counselor can also discuss relaxation techniques. These techniques help manage the physical symptoms of anxiety. These techniques can include progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing exercises, and visualization. The counselor will introduce the group to different relaxation techniques and demonstrate how to perform them. The group will practice the techniques together, then the counselor will encourage clients to use the techniques regularly, then share the effectiveness. In helping those during their grief journey, they can write a grief journal. A grief journal is a space where individuals can write about their experiences with loss and grief. The counselor will discuss with the group the benefits of grief journaling. She will explain how a grief journal can assist with emotional processing, self-regulation, memory keeping, and healing. Encourage clients. They can also use the journal as a place to continue a conversation with the deceased to explore the ongoing nature of the relationship. The counselor will have the group create a journal entry on their own time, then discuss if journaling would be beneficial for them as a coping skill. The working stage of group therapy is for the counselor to be attending and give feedback. The counselor will allow others in the group to discuss freely and observe the group dynamics. For the first intervention, the counselor will observe the group discussions and view spontaneity, honesty, acceptance, responsibility, expression of hostility and resentment, encouragement of others to ensure equality of the members, providing less feedback to ensure less dependency on the counselor. The second skill the counselor will use would be self-disclosure and processing. The counselor will process the group and give self-disclosure to encourage continued participation of all members. The second intervention of the working stage, the counselor will participate when needed to encourage focusing on the here and now, encourage self-exploration, propose alternatives, and examine consequences to encourage healthy risk-taking behaviors outside of the group. During this stage, the counselor could use exercises such as cognitive reconstruction that helps clients identify and change negative thought patterns. It involves challenging irrational thoughts and replaying them with more balanced and constructive thoughts. The counselor will have clients write down a negative thought and identify the distortion involved. Then guide the group in challenging these thoughts by finding evidence against them and for making more rational alternatives. For helping those with grief, they would discuss primary loss and secondary loss. Primary loss is the direct or initial loss that triggers the grieving process. Secondary loss is the losses that occur as a consequence of the primary loss, such as changes in family structure, financial instability, loss of shared memories and routines. The counselor will explain primary and secondary losses, then ask the group to explore and discuss their secondary losses. Have group members share what is scary or uncomfortable about changes they have experienced and share with the group to encourage the other. Mood monitoring is another way to help clients become more aware of their emotions and the events that trigger them. This awareness is a crucial step in managing mood swings and learning how to develop emotional regulating skills. The counselor will provide mood monitoring charts so clients can track their mood through the week. Clients will share the situations that led to the change in mood and openly discuss patterns they observed and strategies to manage difficult emotions. She will also discuss the role of self-care. Self-care involves nurturing the physical, emotional, and mental well-being of yourself during any stage of the grieving process. It is about acknowledging one's pain, practicing kindness towards oneself, and engaging in activities that promote healing and balance. The counselor will spend time talking about the role that self-care has on mental health. They will give clients a worksheet that has different self-care behaviors and ask group members to identify 2 to 3 behaviors they can add to their routine before the next group session, then share in the next group session to follow up and share of any impact it has had on their mental health. The final stage of the counseling process can help all group members wrap up the counseling sessions. The first skill would be confrontation and feedback, that the counselor can discuss overall events of the group and accomplishments. The first intervention, the counselor will review the group experience, assess the members to ensure they are not following old behaviors, and finish up business. The second skill of the final stage will be summarizing and feedback. The counselor will finish up discussions and follow up with group members for any final thoughts. The second intervention will be the counselor will discuss applying change to everyday life and their implementing decisions, provide feedback, handle goodbyes, and plan for continued problem resolutions. Some good ideas during the last stage of the counseling process would be to have group members do sentence completions, such as the thing I am scared of the most is, and discuss their feelings. Another one would be, do you feel you have learned anything from the group? If yes, how would you apply those or give others encouragement? Another one is the technique that I've learned in group I have found most helpful would be they can share within the group and see if everybody is at a good stopping place for the group to end. The techniques and exercises that were used and the references. And that is all. Thank you.